Hello, welcome to the channel. And today in this video, we are going to create a very simple the React to-do list application, which will look like this. Let me show you a demo. Here we can add our tasks, and here we have an add button to add the task to our to-do list. And here below this my task title, our tasks will get displayed. Okay, so let me show you. Let's add something like go to gym and hit add. So that task got added in our list of to do, and here you can see that task here under the my tasks, and it has some options like this tick. This is for let's say you are done with this task, and now you want to mark this as done. So this is why this button is placed here for that purpose. Okay, you can click on this, so you can know that this indicates that this task now has done. Okay, so the next button is edit button, and one more thing with this button, if you want to revert this to undone state, so you can just simply click on it again. It acts like a toggle. Okay, so if you are done with that task, you can click on this. If you by mistake you click that button, so you can also revert it back to undone state. Okay, so like this, if you're done, you can click this and leave it to this state. So you can know that okay, now I'm done with this task. Okay. So the next button is edit button, using which you can edit this task, which is currently go to gym and you want to edit it and want to replace this task with something else. So let's say sleep. So here you can see the edit button got transformed into save button. Okay, so now the edit button now has become save button because now editing when what I did in this code is when I click on or when user click on edit button, so edit mode becomes enabled and this task becomes editable, and at the same time the edit button becomes save button. All right, so that we can enter something else here instead, or to replace the previous task, and and then we want to save that right into the list, and we want to replace the old task with this new task, so you can hit save, so it will get saved okay in the list with the new value. And here you can see as I clicked save, the edit button again appears. So this is how it works, and this delete button is for deleting the task. Okay, so let's try adding one more task here. Let's say watch anime and add, and if I click delete on this watch anime, uh, that task will get deleted from the list. Okay, so you can add any number of tasks here. Let's say uh, gym, study, sleep, go out, like this. Okay, so I also have enter button on pressed. Okay, so if I write some task here, and let's say example, and if I hit enter, then that task will get added to the list. Okay, so I have both the functionalities. This add button, when I click on the add button, then also the task gets added into the list, and also if I if I hit enter after typing the task will get added in the list by this way too. Okay, so I have two functionalities to add the task after typing the task. One is you can either click on this add button, or you can hit enter to add that task. Okay, so like that, this application works. And let me again show you this checked or this done button. It works like this, and editing works like this. You can also see here when I click on edit. the respective task, the border will change, and it will turn into blue color. Okay. So if you notice here carefully, if I click on the edit button for this study task, and that the border of this will turn into blue. Okay. So can you see here? Now the border has become blue. So this is to tell user, or this is to indicate that now that task is in editing mode. You can edit that task. All right. So for that purpose, I added this functionality. So you can delete, you can add. So this is what we are going to create in today's our video. All right, then let's begin. I have created a folder named Todo for this project, and I'm going to use Vite to create a React application, and for styling, I'm going to use Tailwind CSS. All right, so let's create a new project using Vite. So this is the command npm uh, pa Vite at latest. I will name it Todo. So I'm going to select React and JavaScript. Okay. Let's do npm install. Now, while since we are in the process of creating this task, till then, I want to tell you that in our this project, we are going to use React icons. Okay. So to use those React icons, which I just showed you in the demo, that we had an icon of a tick, and for that icon, we're going to use this React icons package. Okay, so to install this package, uh, this is the command. Okay, so our project setup is done, and let's install the package, this package too. Okay, so npm my React icons. All right, so our project has been created now. Let's go to index.html and let's add Tailwind CSS CDN. Let's go to Tailwind CSS site and go to docs, place CDN. This line, this script, this we have to copy and paste in our index.html inside our head. We will change this title to do. Okay, and I'm gonna clear all the predefined styling from the app.css and from the index.css. Okay, so we are going to apply our own styling from scratch. We don't want any predefined styling. Okay, so let's come into app.jsx and remove all this code. Okay, and also this state, and let's add a div here. All right, so let's try writing some text here, and let's check if our project is working properly. All right, so let's run this project. npm run dev. Okay, all right, so it is working properly. All right, so let's start. I will stop this server, and all right, so first what we'll do, first we'll create the layout of this to do. All right, so this task and this buttons. Okay, so these buttons and this will become our one component. Okay, so this we will create a separate component for this task. All right, so this will be our separate component, and we will iterate on the task array task list, and so this components, the same component will get used for all the tasks which we want to display. All right, so let's first create that component, or we can also begin with this to do and add task here, this thing also. Okay, so I think we'll go ahead with this thing first, this title, this add task, and this add button. Okay, so let's get started. First we have to create inside this div, I will write something like h1 and then class name text 3xl, and then I will write to do. Okay, so let's see what's happening. Okay, our server is stopped. Let me start. I will keep it running. Okay, so here you can see to do is getting displayed. We want that title to be bold, so we will add the Tailwind CSS class for that, which is font bold. All right, and we will do some padding like this, and then we have to create input an input for uh, entering our task. All right, so input type will be text, placeholder will be enter or add task here, and then we'll have some styling for this, like border and padding of 2. Okay, so for this we will create a separate container, because we want this input and the add task button inside one container. Okay, so I will create a button. Let's just copy any button from uh, ready-made Tailwind CSS buttons. I will get those from this site. Okay, so we want a button for edit add task. Actually, what are the buttons? Okay, so they stick, edit, and delete. All right, so I will get this button. Just copy this. This comes with styling. Okay, so we don't need to spend that time on doing styling if we are getting ready-made buttons. All right, so this class needs to be replaced with class name, and I will remove some. Okay, let it be. So I want the button for add task, so I will name it add task. All right, so I will create one more div here, and I will wrap this input and this button inside this div, and I will make it flex. Let's see what output we are getting. Okay, so I want this input to be to have more size than this button, and this should match the screen width. Okay, this whole thing. So for that, I will give the width for this input to be 3/4. Okay, so 3/4. All right. So and this button will have the remaining width. Okay, so for that, I will add the class like width 1/4. Okay, so here you can see this now this container has matched is matched with the screen size. Okay, screen width. So we can give some padding to this to make it look a little nicer. And here we want this button to be placed in center. Okay, this should be aligned vertically center. So currently, if you can see here carefully, this is not getting placed vertically center. This is aligned to the top. Okay, so let's make that happen. So for that, we need flex. So we already have flex. So I will write justify center, and we need to remove some margins if some are there. So like this. Okay. So now you can see the button is matching uh, appropriately with the whole thing. All right. So we need some padding. We need some space between this input box and this the button. All right. So for that we can add one more class here, gap 2. Okay. So this will create some gap of 2 between this input and this button. All right. So this is our input box, and this is add task button. And so below this, the list of the to-do list will get displayed. All right, so we are done with this part, and we need to create a border under this input and this button to separate out this my task and this adding a new task to to-do list portion. So these are two different sections. This below this border, the section is for my tasks, where we are going to display all the tasks, and this upper section is for adding the to-do item. All right, so we want to separate those sections. For that, we'll add uh, we'll add a border. We'll give a border bottom for this container. Okay, so this will create our border, and this is good, I think. All right, so below this, this is for our adding task. I will write a comment here, add task section. Okay, so this div is for adding tasks, and below this div, we will have another div, and we will uh, display our tasks here. Okay, so my tasks, and we'll have some styling like text to Excel font bold. Okay, all right, so and also padding, some padding of 2. Okay, fine. So now what we can do here is okay, so we are done with this input and this add task button, and let's create an array, a list for storing our tasks. All right, so for that we'll create a state task set task use state blank array initially. We are initializing this task state, which is nothing but our array or list to store our task. We are initializing it with a blank array. All right, so now what we want is uh, let's just a minute. All right, fine. So what we want is when we enter some task here and click on the add task button, that task should get added to the list. All right, so for that we need to store that input value in some variable, okay, or in some state. So we will create a state for that. We will name it new task and set new task. So initially it will have a blank value. Okay, it will be blank, and this input will have value of this new task. Okay, and we want the event on change, and on this event what we'll do, we'll get that input value and we'll set that to our new task. Okay, so set new task e dot target dot value, it means whatever the value user has entered in the input box, that value will be set to this new task. All right. So this is the event for that. And now next, what we want is when we click on this add task button, this value, this new task value, which is our entered value, the task value, that should get added to the task list. Okay, when we click on this button. So we want on click event here. So on the on click event of this button, we will add this task, uh, set task to the set task, right? So to add this task to set task, we'll create a function, separate function for that, add task. And in this function, what we'll do, if new task is not null, so set task. So add. So what we're doing here is we're copying all the contents of the task, whatever the current contents of this task array are. We are copying those contents, and we are adding a new task, a new value to the array here, uh, which is given as this after the comma. All right. So set task, whatever the contents of the task are previously, or we're adding one more into those contents, and that one more task will be our new task. All right. So in the set new task, we are setting that to blank. All right. So we will call this add task button to the to here. Okay. Here we'll call that button the function here. So we'll call the or instead of that, we will just do add task here. Okay. So now this function will get called on the add on the on click event. All right. So let's try console.log. Let's try printing the array console.log task. So let's see if it's working. Okay. So let me open my console. Let me clear my console and refresh the page. All right. So initially the task list is blank, and now let's try adding some tasks here. Let's type go to gym and hit enter. So here you can see the go to gym task now has been added to our to-do list. Okay, so let's try adding another task. Okay, so I will type sleep and add task. So the tasks are getting added to the list, right? All right, so this is not getting, all right, fine. So I think why this is not getting cleared is because but we are setting the new task to blank here. You can see, and new task is value. Okay, so the I misspelled the value attribute. That's why it was not getting cleared after clicking on add task. Okay, so now it should get cleared. So let me add something. Read book. If I check my console, let me just clear everything, and I will add here read book, and I will click on the add task. Now the input box has been cleared, and here you can see the read book task now has been added to the list. Okay, so let's try adding one more uh, run. All right, so the tasks are getting added to the list. All right, so we are done with one thing, which was adding tasks to the list. And when user enters some task here in the input and clicks on the enter task. So one more thing, as I told you in the demo, that we also going to have functionality like if I press enter button after entering some task here, let's say 4, and if I press enter, then also that task should be added to the list. All right. So for that, we need an event which is right here. on key down. And all right, so add task is our function, right? All right, so this is what we want. So e dot keys, if the key is enter, and add task. All right, so if the key is enter, call the add task function, which is going to do the same thing. All right, so now let's try this thing. So if I open the console and let me try adding some task code, and I will press enter, so nothing happened. All right, let me see. Let me create a separate function for this. It is always better if you create separate functions. Okay, so if the functionality is very small, like uh, uh, inverting value of boolean state, like that, you can, in those cases you can make inline arrow functions, anonymous arrow functions, right? So so for this enterprise add task functionality, I will create a new function here, handle key down. And now this if key enter, all right, this is what we want, this is what we were doing, but I think the event has to be here, not on the button key down. All right, so this was a mistake, I think. Let me cut this from here, and let me set this on the on key down for this input. Uh, okay, for this task input, and I will call handle key down. All right, so let me try now. So I will open the console and I will try adding some task here. Let's say music, and I will press enter, and all right, so now it is working. So that was thing, I by mistake I added that on key down to this button. It should be on the input. Okay, so because that event is happening for this input, not for this button. Okay, so when we enter this when we enter something here, so we are on the input, right? And if we want to handle on key change, so it has to be handled within this input. All right, so okay, let me try adding some more tasks here. Let's say task 2, and I will hit enter. So you can see task 2 is added, and I will now this time I will click on this button. Okay, so both the functionalities are working fine. Now we are done with this, so let's create a task component for displaying tasks. Okay, so to create the task component, I will create a new file here inside the source folder. I'll name it task.jsx. All right, let me create the template. And so first, for this, what we have to display is we have to display an input and then 3 buttons. Okay, so for that, let's uh, make this div flex first, and then we will create an input. The type will be text, and actually there are this is now what happens here is this is not input when it is not in editing mode. Okay, so this becomes an input box when we click on this edit button. Okay, So right now it is just a title. Right now it is just like a title or label, whatever you want to call it. This is just a text. Okay, so which is our task uh, from the our list. Okay, so this has some border, and if I click on this edit, so this edit button, so it becomes input. Okay, so when it is not when editing is not enabled, it is a text. Okay, and when we click on this edit button, it becomes input box. All right, so we have to do some conditional rendering. All right, so to make this happen, we have two things here. So first, let's create the task display, a to display the task. Let's create some paragraph or a div. Let me create a paragraph, and here we will display task. For now, just hard code. Let's hard code it, and we need to create a state to store the uh, value for we need to uh, we need to uh, identify that if editing mode is enabled or not, right? So for that, we'll create a state. Why this is not getting properly aligned? Okay, fine. Const edit and set edit. Initially, it will be false, and we will do some conditional rendering here. So let's create the input first. So the input type will be text. Value will be for now. Let's keep the value attribute and okay. So for now, let's keep that and let's add some styling. Let's say border and okay. For now, let's show something like this. And for the value, we will initialize or we will hard code the value as task or task one. Okay, all right. So if editing is enabled, we want to display this input, and if it is not enabled, it is if it is disabled, we just want to display this task. Okay, so for that, we need to do some conditional rendering like this. This is exactly what I want. Edit, if edit is true, then display the input box, and if it is false, then display the task. All right, so we will remove this now because we have added that here. So after the input and the or the task, we have to display three buttons. Let me just copy those buttons from here. So we have three buttons, and I will remove this on click for now because we will have some different on click on these buttons. And first button is for uh, checking that if the task is done or not. Okay, so for that we need a tick icon which we will get from the React icons. We already have installed the React icons package, and we will search here for the tick icon. Let's try searching for check, and let's see which is good for us. Okay, so this is good for showing the that the task has been done. Okay, so let's import this, and we need one more which will be unfilled. So this icon is filled, right? And we can change this color, black color, to green. And one more icon we want to display when the to display for uh, undone task. All right. So let me search for that icon. That icon should be here. unfilled check icon. So here, alright. So this icon. So we will add this icon inside our buttons. FA check and IM check mark 2. So this check mark 2 is our unfilled icon. So this is for so let's rename these buttons. One first button is for the done and undone. So the second button is for edit and third button is for delete, right? Alright, so inside this button we will let me create, we need here one more state that let's name it done and set done. And for this we will do some conditional rendering here. If done, then show the IM check mark 2, which is IM check mark 2, not IM check mark 2, we want to display the FA check, which is the field tick icon, okay, and we will give it size of 20 and color green, okay. And for this check, size will be same and we don't need to give it a color, but we will give some color for this button, different colors for this button. So because here if you see, if the task is undone, the background color of the button is blue, and if I click on this, so this now it indicates that now this task, we are done with this task and the color is changing to white, okay. So for that we need to do something like we will first remove this text to white and will conditionally apply the classes. To do that uh, we need these braces. And all right, so where is the background color of this button? This background color of this button is let me see where the button color has declared. Okay, so here in the beginning only BG blue 700. So this color we want only if the task is undone, okay. So for that we will conditionally assign that class. So if done, let me scroll. So if done, then background will be white. If done, background, keep the background of the button white, and if it's not done, then keep it background blue. And also this focus screen blue medium. Okay, so this I will remove this focus because it is not very needed. And let me do some modifications with this button. And dark, we don't want this, don't need this actually. And focus dark, we are removing the dark theme styles from the button. And focus outline none, okay, I remove this also for this button specifically. And round range is fine. Our BG blue 800, I want that only when it is in undone state, okay. So like this, and I think we are done with this button styling and displaying of this button. Edit and delete. Alright, so let's try adding this component now inside our app.jsx. Let me import uh, task from task, and here I will display the task component 2-3 times, and let's check now what happens. So this is our output, but there are some errors. useState is not defined. Okay, let me import useState. Okay, now let's check. Okay, so it is looking something like this. We have the black icon. I don't know how it has become black. Let me see. If we check, I mean check mark. Okay, we forgot. I forgot to add note here. So fa im check mark. Let me make sure. Let me check which is that icon. Okay, so this is for undone. We will use this im check mark 2 for undone state. Okay, okay, so I will place that here, and let's see now what happens. Okay, so we are getting something like this. Fine. So we need to give some specific widths for these buttons and this task. Okay, so let's first do that. So for this task, let's see. Okay, fine. For this task, the width will be uh, 3 or 4. This is our input, and for this p tag, width will be same 3 4. Okay, and this also should have a border. Okay, something like this, and then uh, these buttons should have different width. Let me see why this is not a white. Text void is applied. Text we need to apply text void here. Okay, then now the tick is white as we want. We also want that to be in center, so I will write just t5 center and text. Okay, button. Okay, fine. Mm, then I will use some padding. We already have padding. I will use some gap to this. Actually, not this. We will wrap the to-do list items inside a div, and we'll give it some gap. Okay. I will make it flex column gap to padding 2. All right. And for the task, for the where is the paragraph? All right. For this also, I will use some padding of 2. So this is looking a little nice now. So 3 4 is for uh, paragraph, and let me check for the buttons. 1 4 1 4. Okay, 1 4. Let me try 2 4 here. Where is so okay, fine. Let me check now. 1 4 was fine. Then okay, now we need to wrap these buttons inside one container so it can have a fixed width. So for that, we need to wrap these buttons. I will create a div, and I will wrap all these buttons inside that div, and I will give that div class width 1 4, and let me let me see. Okay, clicks, and then these buttons, if I remove now width from these buttons, because we have a width for the its parent, and I can give width to these buttons, so these buttons will take full the required width whatever they have equally. So okay, it is getting displayed as we want, and we want some space between these uh, task and these buttons, right? So for that, so this is our parent div. All right, so I will give it some gap of 2. All right, so this is now okay, we are getting the desired output, and the delete button should be of a red color. So I will give it a red color, BG red, and I will replace all the blue colors with the red color here. Focus, okay, and here also we don't actually need this, but let it be. All right, let me check now. Where is the BG red? Okay, BG red is applied. Okay, so actually it is not getting applied. BG red 700 is fine. Let me check dark. Okay, so dark is getting applied because my system has dark mode enabled. So this is the dark mode colors are getting applied. Now it should work. Okay, all right. So now we got the delete. Yeah, we got the edit, and all right. So we got everything, I guess. All right. So UI part, the user interface of this to-do list. Now we have created that. So now we need to add functionalities to these buttons, on click and all. So let me check what if there is something which we need to implement on for the UI. Paragraph is there. Okay, we're conditional rendering this input. I need to try this because if edit is true, then input should get displayed here. So for that, let me add some on click on the edit just to try if that input is getting displayed. So on click edit state edit we are inverting the value of edit here using not operator. If it is true, it will become false. If it is false, it will become true. Okay. So now let me check edit. Clicked. I clicked on the edit, and now we are getting the input. All right. So if I again clicked on edit, now it is the input is gone, and it is getting the task name. Okay, only the task name. It is not input box now. If I click again on edit, now it has become edit input box. All right. So again, we want that this edit button should be transformed into save button when we are in editing mode. So for that, and also the color of the edit should become green, right? So for that, and also one more thing here, uh, the padding for the input, right? So let me check padding. If the padding has not given for the input, okay, I will give the padding of 2, and I will now check. Now it is fine. Okay, all right. So again, so now the save button, right? So for that, I need to conditionally render the button name. if edit is true, then display the button name save. If edit is false, then display the button name edit, right? And then for background blue, background will change to green. So for that I need to, okay, I will remove these unnecessary classes from here for dark and focus. Okay, first let's remove these classes, and then what we have, again there are some focus effects. I will remove those just to simplify it because we do not need. Okay, fine. Now this bg blue, we will conditionally assign this class. Text will be white, that is fine. And okay, all right, so we need template literals here again. Conditionally assign the classes here. So the syntax is like this. So here these classes will be applied in any case. Okay, so by default the button will have these classes, and if edit is true, then background will be green, not blue. All right, so and here the background will be blue, right? So all right, let me check now. So let's refresh this, and if I click on edit, so it has become green, but because of the on hover it is being again blue. So I need to handle that hover effect also. Hover bg blue 800, I will remove this from here and I will add that here. Okay, and for this hover will be bg green. Okay, so let's refresh and again check. So edit is on, and we can now here we should be able to edit, right? And if I click say on save, it turns into edit button again, and the background, all the styles are getting applied properly. So fine, this is the desired output. And now let's come to the functionality. So we have created the component for task, and we are hard coding it here. So now instead of hard coding these components, we will iterate on the tasks list. So tasks.map, I'm getting some recommend suggestions, auto completions. So let me check if they are right. Task.map, task index, index task, and task is getting passed to the task component. Okay, fine. So this is what I want, and we will receive that prop inside our task component, and here for the p tag here where we want to display the task name, we will display the task as the task which we are receiving in the props, right? So props dot task. So this will get received here in the task component, and we are rendering inside the p tag props dot task, right? Then okay, let me, okay, let's see now what happens if it works. Let's try adding some task. Let's say code and enter. All right, so code got added to the list, and we are iterating on the list as here as we are iterating on the task list here using the map function, and we are for every iteration we are rendering the task component with we are passing the props to the task. Props are nothing but here in this case nothing but just the task name, which we are displaying here, right? So for edit also, we need to the input should have the value of props dot task, right? So for that I will just copy these props dot task and assign to the value of the input. All right. So let's try adding some more tasks here. So I will add eat, sleep, code. Okay. So we are getting the one functionality is I think we are good with one functionality so far. One functionality is working fine, which is adding the tasks, right, and displaying the tasks. So we are adding some tasks here and we are hitting enter or we are adding the task using the add task button here. So also try that add task button. I was using the press enter to add the task. So let's have some one more task. So let's say watch uh, series, okay, and add task. So it is getting added. All right. So if I do edit now, so all right, so I'm getting the input box enabled here, and I'm also getting the value as it, and but I'm not I'm pressing backspace, but I'm not able to clear these existing or the current task and add a new value. Okay, so for that we need to do some things. So this thing is done now. That adding task and displaying, right? So like this add task. All right. So delete also is not is to be implemented. And also and what's up with this? This should work, okay, because this doesn't need any functionality. Okay, this only has this should only have uh, changing classes. If I click on this, it should turn into white. This is our desired. This is what I showed you in the demo. So this is our desired output. So if I click on it, it should turn into background white, and the tick should be green color, right? So it's not happening. Let's first fix this because it is simple and straightforward. So let me check if I'm done. Okay, dot is done. Okay, done. We have declared a state named done here, and the state is false. Okay, fine. Uh, on this button, where is the button? All right, here it is beginning, and uh, it doesn't have on click, right? So we need to give on click and to handle on click here. So on click, say done, not done. With inverting the value of the done. Similarly, like we did for the here for the edit mode. So similarly, we are inverting the value of done. If it is false, it will become true. If it is true, it will become false, right? So and if it is true, then the background is white and the icon will be this, right? And all right, so this should work, I think now. So let's try task one. And okay, fine. So we need a border here for the done button or the done icon, whatever it is. So for that, actually, don't we have border here? Okay, so we do not have border here. So let me add some border. And okay, border. So by default, border is white. So we need to turn that into some gray shade, which will be visible, right? So here you can see now the tick is getting displayed. So this means when the task has green tick, it means we have completed that task. And if you want to revert, so this means it is undone, right? It is to be completed. So this is working now. And let's come to delete. Let's implement delete first, right? Then we will lastly will implement edit. Okay. So for deleting the task, For deleting the task, let's create a function here. Let's handle here only deleting the task. So for that we will make the function for deleting the task here only. So const delete task, right? And inside the delete task we will use uh, a splice function. So okay, no new task. First, we need to remove that task using the index of the task, and new task, not new task. It should be tasks, right? So tasks dot slice index one occurrence, all right, and const new task. No, not new task. Uh, Set task is equal to task. So after making these changes, after deleting that task from the uh, tasks list, we are again setting task to the current task. Okay, so the task which is to be deleted will get deleted from the list here at this line, and again we are setting the task so that React can track the latest state of the tasks list, right? So I will remove this, and okay, I think it is fine now. We will pass this delete task function as prop to the task component. So I think here we will pass that, and so name will be delete task and the value will be the same delete task function. Okay, so the now what should happen, we are already so we will also pass the index for that. So index will be index of the task, right? Array index. So index will be index. Let me get those values, and delete for delete function here. For the delete button, we will set the on click to props.delete task, props.index, right? So we are passing the index of the task which we want to delete, and the delete task will perform the deletion. Here it will receive the index. We are passing it from here props.index. So it will be received here, and we are removing the task from the task list. Here we are storing all the tasks, and we are setting the new task with the updated tasks value, right? So now let's try this function, right? Let's try the delete operation. I think we are printing the tasks list, right? So here, all right. So we should see some changes happening after clicking on the delete. So let me try adding let let's add a gym, and let's try deleting the gym, right? So if I click on delete, see here, it is working. The array is now has become blank because we have deleted the task gym, right? And also we are not getting displayed any task here because we had only one task and we deleted that, right? So let's try adding one more task, and let's again try deleting some of them, right? So I will add sleep. I don't know, man. I'm just getting these names in my mind, sleep and all. So it's fine. We're just testing. You can add whatever actual task if you are going to use this project. So this is just a front end, right? It doesn't have backend. So to save the to store the tasks, right? So if you want this to be a full stack project, and if you actually want to build a actual to-do list which can be used in your daily life in real world. Okay, so real world, if you want to make this a real world application, you should have a backend. You should have a database to store your tasks, because what happens if on this in this case we do not have backend, right? So if I add tasks and if I close the browser or if I refresh the page, all my tasks will be wiped out, right? So for to store those tasks permanently, you need a database, right? So in this video, we are not going to create a database. We are just seeing how we can create a to-do list in React, right? Only with front end, just front end. It doesn't have any backend and any storage, permanent storage, right? So also where we were, so we are trying to delete some more tasks, right? So again, sleep, code, watch, anime, whatever, and then I will delete code from here. Let's just sleep and watch anime for today. What? All right. So then I will delete sleep. I will delete anime. So delete is working properly, right? So we are done with delete. Now we are done with this. We are done with delete. And now one thing is remaining, which is edit, right? Which is again a simple operation. So what should happen if I enter some task, and if I click, if I want to replace these, or if I want to edit these with something else, like I don't want now sleep here. I want to work, like let's say I want to remove the sleep, and I want to now new value. I want to add the new value as code or whatever. Okay, watch TV or whatever. So what should happen if I click edit? I should be able to edit this task, and if I save the the value of the current value of the task, which is sleep, should get changed, and it should be the newly added value. Okay, and it should actually make changes in our list, right? So for that, we need index of that uh, item, and we will just reassign the item to the new value, right? So for that, we need to store that value somewhere first, the new value. So where is our input? So this is all right. So this is the input, and uh, here we need to create one more state, const new task, or what we can call it. Let's say new value. Okay, set new value. Props. It should initially have props dot task, which is the current value, the current task, right? So new value will be the value of the input, right? And on change, right? We need on change event here. On change e dot. I'm not getting suggestions. What happened? So on change of the input. Let me make sure I'm editing the right thing. All right. So this is the only input, right? All right. So fine. So uh, e dot target dot value, which we will set to the new value, right? So set new value, and the new value will be e dot target dot value. Okay, so on change in the set new value e dot target dot value, and if I click on save here, let me save these changes first, and the new value should be again. We need to make a function here to edit the task. So const edit task, yes, so we want that name, and index, we will get the index, and we will do not task dot splice, but tasks of index. We need the new value also here. So the new value will be assigned to the index. So task index is equal to new value and set task, right? Updated state. We are assigning to the set task. So edit task will also be passed to the task component, right? So edit task is equal to edit task, and we will get that function here on the on click of here. So this is the save and edit button, right? So on click edit, set edit will be not edit, right? So what should happen if edit mode is enabled and user entered some new value and clicks on save, right? So in that case only uh, we want the on click like let me add some more condition here. So we are editing, making changes in the on click of the edit and which is our edit and save, both the buttons acting as toggle, right? So if first we are setting the edit to the its reverse value, right? And let me check if edit is true, which means uh, we are editing, and right, props.edit task and props.index and new value, right? So we need to make it a function first here. uh, Let me save this. If edit is true, call the function edit task, pass the index and pass the new value, right? And so this is all. I think we are done with the edit task. So let's have a try. Okay, so I have saved this, and let me now try editing the value, right? So we will add some task here. Let's say TV, watch TV. I will enter and I will go to edit. Now I should be able, right? I'm now able to edit this watch TV task. I will edit this to go out, right? And I will click on save, and now you can see the changes has been applied, right? Now the watch TV value now has become go out, right? Also here now it is not no more edit box, it is text, right? We are displaying the task. So edit mode is disabled and we are getting the updated value, right? So now let's try adding more tasks here, and again let's try editing those tasks, right? So I will again add some tasks, again sleep and run, whatever, go running, uh, go shopping. All right, so I will now edit this sleep to something else because I want to be productive and I don't want to sleep for today. Let's say I will edit, I will sleep, I will remove this sleep to, I will change this to code, right? So all night I'm gonna code today. So I will click on save, and now the changes has been applied, right? The sleep has now become code. We have edited the task. So I think we are done with all the operations. So here we can, let's say we are done with shop running and shopping. So we can tick this as done, right? So we are done with these two tasks. These two are still remaining to be done. Okay, so we can edit, we can also delete like this, right? So I think this was all. This is all. We have implemented all the functionalities. Let me try the desired output, the demo, right? So the demo and the implementation we did is exactly same and uh, has all the functionalities, right? So tick, check, done, undone, edit. Okay, so this blue border we did not implement. So all right, this is not a big deal. We will implement this in minutes. And delete is working. All right, sleep will be changed to run. So all right, so this is what we are doing, the same thing, right? We got the desired output. And right, so we can check, uncheck, we can edit this to something else like watch TV and save. So now it is watch TV, right? We can delete, and everything is working. So one thing remaining is the uh, blue border, so that user can know how this task is, we are editing this task, right? So how the user will know if I simply click on uh, what just happened. Let me try again. Sleep. I'm a sleepy guy. So if I click on edit, okay, nothing. I thought some miss functionality is happening, so nothing. So now here, if user clicks on edit, so user it does not display anything like so that user can know, okay, so now this task is in edit mode, or I can edit this task. So this button indicates that we are into edit mode, but it doesn't actually points, or it doesn't actually indicates where it should indicate, right? So something should happen here if I click on edit. So what I did in our demo, that if I click on edit, this border becomes blue, so it becomes different from other tasks. So user can know that this task is in edit mode, right? If I click on this, so this is also now in edit mode. So if I click save on this, if I click save on this both will be saved, right? So for this blue border, we need we need to add a class for the input. So for the input, border will be blue, right? Border blue, let's say 400. Okay, now let me refresh, and let me try adding task, watch TV, fix bugs, right? So if I edit fix bugs, so now I can see that it is in edit mode and it has the blue border, right? So fix bugs, uh, flip again. So save, edit, right? Edit, save, delete. Okay, fine. So this was all. This is how you can implement a simple to-do list, which has the CRUD operations, right? Create, update, delete, and retrieve, right? So this was the project. This is good for practicing React for beginners. This to-do list project or application. So all right, hope you understood it. And if you have any questions, you can comment. Uh, so tell me if you like the video and what kind of videos you want to watch, you would like to watch, or you want a video on, if any query you have, right? So this was all, and so we used a package which is React icons for this tick, right? All right, so this was all, and let's end the video here, and I'll see you in the next video. So thank you for watching. Please do subscribe and share with your friends, right? So all right then, bye.